All right, you guys, we're going to go ahead and get into this edit. Once again, part of my voice, I'm getting over a little cold, so I sound a little scratchy, but I hope I'm clear, and I hope you guys are able to follow through with me. Like I said, this is my first time doing a video like this, so this will be my trial. So here we have the photo, and let's get into it. So first thing I do, I want to zoom in and see my imperfections, see the things I want to work on. So first things first is the hair. I try to do hair and background first. So that's basically what's going on here. Yeah, so I'm using the clone stamp tool, which, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, so I'm using the clone stamp tool. As you can see, I'm kind of going through it. Sometimes when editing, you kind of got to like mess up the image and then make it better. So as you see, while I'm clone stamping, I'm probably not selecting good sources, which is why you're seeing like a lighter gray. But yeah, so basically I'm just using the clone stamp tool. You see I'm going back and forth. I'm redoing things. Oops, my bad. But I'm going back and forth. I'm redoing things, and I'm just trying to find the best way to do it. This is just something I learned to do. I understand how much to mess up the image, and then I understand when and where to go back. So I'm kind of bringing in some of those hairs that I edited out. I don't want it to look too perfect. It is a hair shoot though, so we do want it to get as close to perfect as possible. But yeah, so that's basically what's going on here. I'm just touching up those the ends of the hairs. And yeah, so now I'm gonna go ahead and liquefy, which what I'm gonna do here is like shape and mold the hair. It's kind of like a slight wavy hair style, so I'm gonna try to like bring out those waves and just give a more clean look. You know what I'm saying? Make the curls more voluptuous. The girls like that. Things of that sort. We're going to adjust the clothing. You know what I'm saying? We don't want anything to distract us from the hair. It is about the hair. So we want, that to stand out. So that's what's going on here using the liquefy tool. I also use this when I want to reshape the body and different things like that. It's not too much body reshaping to do, so we're not going to get too much into that. But as you can see, we're shaping the hair, just minor imperfections, and we wanted to make it look slightly perfect. So toggle it on and off. I like it. Let's go back into the image. And now what I'm going to do is clean up the background. Like I said, I like to do this before actually retouching the skin. Well, it kind of depends on the image. This image is not too hard. So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and just clean up all those random overly gray areas. Just blend that in a little bit more. Yeah, so the median tool, it does a pretty decent job, but sometimes you have to go back in. And like I said, you guys, this is my way of editing. I'm still learning myself. Every photo is different. Every edit is different. So if you guys see me doing something, a better way to do it, feel free to comment below. Let me know what you do and things of that sort. So I think I'm pretty satisfied before and after. Yeah, I think I'm pretty satisfied with this. So let's go ahead and flatten this image. And now we have our base image. But now what basically I am removing blemishes, pimples, and just different imperfections that I think stands out in the photo. I use a lot of different actions that I got from different photographers. Some of my favorite photographers, of course, Prince Mason. He has a lot of good actions. There's also Charles. Oh man, I can't believe I'm blanking on his name right now, but he's one of my favorite photographers. So I also got some actions from him. But basically what I'm using is Prince Mason's basic frequency separation. And basically what frequency separation is putting the skin texture on one layer and then putting the color on a different layer. And what that allows you to do is to, on one layer, edit out any textures. So as you can see, smile marks, pimples. I'm using the clone stamp tool, and we're just removing, little pimples. And we're doing that on the high layer, which is the textured layer. And then, so yeah, I'm just basically going around the image. I zoom in, zoom out. I try not to get stuck in one area, move around so it doesn't look patchy in one area or whatnot. Sometimes most times I use the clone stamp tool. You want to make sure that you're sampling the current layer. But sometimes I will use the patch tool. If there's an area that the clone stamp tool is not sampling correctly, or it's too textured or it's too soft, then I would just use the patch tool. So yeah, I'm gonna do my thing. I'm gonna kind of speed this up because I think I spent a lot of time on this image, and I want you guys to be able, I don't want this video to be extremely long, but I do, I just want to show you guys my editing process. So we're gonna speed this up, and then I'm gonna come back in once, I'm gonna come back in once I'm done with the high frequency separation layer. All right. Alrighty, so we're still on the high frequency separation layer, and now what I'm doing is basically cleaning up the hair area. As you guys know, we're in 2021 and lace fronts and wigs are my mistake. Let's undo that. But yeah, lace fronts, wigs, and hair care is very big these days. So this is a pretty good lace front. You barely see the lace, which I really like. Sometimes you have lace, that are lifting or different things like that, and that's always pretty difficult to edit. But this one wasn't pretty. This was pretty easy, and I used the patch tool to remove that. Now we're removing just random hairs off the skin. Off the body. Just cleaning up everything. Now, since this is a hair shoot, I don't want to do too much with the body because the focus is on the hair, but we don't want anything to distract you from the hair. The hair goes all the way down her back, so as people are looking at the hair, they might see imperfections with the outfit. Sorry for the noise. Ambulance coming by. But okay. But okay, sorry. Okay, so now what I'm doing, this is something I also got from Prince Mason. I've been practicing this technique just for a few weeks, nothing too long. But it's basically a complete dodge and burn. And basically, I'm still learning this, so I might not explain this the best way. But make sure you visit Prince Mason's page. His page is so informative, and it's actually inspo on where I want to take my page when it comes to photography and things of that sort. I want to give more information, so I'm learning, I'm practicing. But basically, make sure you visit his page. But I got this action. It's the complete dodge and burn, and it basically puts an inverted layer, and you're bringing out the highlights, and you're dodging. You're dodging the highlights, and you're burning the shadows. And I think the best way for me to explain this is you see the mask and you basically want to smooth out the transitions in between colors. You probably got to go to his page to kind of get a better explanation, but that's basically what I'm doing. So I have my inverted layer open and I am currently on the burn. So I'm basically making shadows darker, so as you can see before and after with the burn. And the cool thing about this, everything is layered, so if in the end I feel like it's too much, I can always play with the opacity. All right, let's go ahead and keep going. I'm just trying to find, I'm kind of still learning what to look for, but I'm basically the highlighted parts, which since it's inverted, the highlighted parts on here are actually the parts that are of the shadows. So I'm highlighting the highlights on the inverted, with the inverted mask on. But once I turn it off, it's gonna actually flip back. So now I'm on the dodge layer, which is looking like a shadow. So basically we're coloring in the shadows. Once we turn the layer off, we will see we actually colored in the highlights. All right, so yeah, I'm gonna kind of fast forward and just let you guys watch me work. Like I said, I'm still learning. If you guys use this method, let me know. If not, let me know what do you use to dodge and burn. I've tried curved layers, which I think these are curved layers. But like I said, this is an action, so it's already preset up. So I'm not really sure his, how he went about it. Looks like a curved layer. I've also tried levels. I've tried a lot of different things. So I do like Prince Mason's complete dodge and burn. I just think I have to master it because sometimes I do it on photos and I don't really like the outcome and I end up, going back to my old ways. So yeah, let's just keep going. Let's check to see where we're at, and that is on and off, on and off. What do you guys think? What do you guys think? Do you guys like it? I'm playing with the opacity. Okay, I think I'm pretty set. So now we're gonna go ahead and start flattening layers. We're gonna go ahead and do an advanced frequency separation. So this basically creates 4 different layers, 2 textured layers, 2 colored layers, and we want to work on the copied layer. And basically we're gonna redo the same thing we did with the basic frequency separation. We're basically going to start on the low layer with this one, and we're gonna use the mixer brush on. We're just gonna blend in the transitions. Now, also, I am new to the mixer brush. I also learned this from Prince Mason. I believe you're supposed to just kind of go over areas where the transition is off. I sometimes find myself just doing the whole image. Something I definitely have to practice more because I usually just use the basic brush tool and I just, go through the whole imagery. But I think with the mixer brush, we're only supposed to do the transition. So what do you guys think? Let me know. Do you guys use the mixer brush? I've been using the mixer brush probably for like a week. And yeah, so let's just see what it does. And yeah, I'm just going through. At this point, this is just going to smoothen out the skin as much as possible. So yeah, I'm just zoomed out on this because now I want to see how people are going to see it zoomed out, even though a lot of people do zoom in on the imagery. I want to see how it looks zoomed out. Yeah, I think I like that. And now I'm going to basically dodge and burn again. I do a lot of dodge and burning. I do a lot of frequency separation. Sometimes I do 2 of each. Just because I'm looking for that perfect shot. I'm looking for that crisp shot. I want the skin to look good. I want the model to pop out. I want the hair to look good. So that's basically what's going on here. Just, dodging the hair, dodging burning the hair, I'm sorry. Dodging the highlights, burning the shadows, and just bringing that out a lot more. Let's go ahead and do the highlights now. Yeah, just highlight specific areas that you want to pop. And yeah, I'm liking how this is looking. I'm really liking how this is looking. Yeah. Sometimes when I dodge and burn, I never like to keep the opacity on 400%. So I play with the different opacities and yeah, things of that sort. And then, I see something I want to change, so I'll go back in. And now you're going to see me use the regular brush tool on that same low layer. And as you can see, I think I do a better job with it. I'm able to pick a color I want, blend it a little bit more. So like I said, I'm still learning the mixer brush tool. I heard it's a very beneficial tool if you know how to use it. So I think I just need a little bit more practice. Because when I watch other tutorials, they're able to use the mixer brush tool throughout the whole editing process. With me, it doesn't last that long. I just go back to my brush tool. I use a soft brush. So yeah, I think I'm liking how this is looking. Yeah, skin looks good. Yeah. Right, so now we're going to go ahead and erase the other layers because we're not going to be using those. And now this is the fun part. We're going to play with coloring. Let's color the image. So when I'm coloring my images, I use a plethora of different things. I use selective color. I use color lookup where you can use LUTs. I use curves, levels. I use everything. So, but LUTs definitely come in handy. If you find some really good LUTs, put them to use. I use Prince Mason's LUTs. I use a ton of photographer LUTs. And I just kind of play around with it until I find ones that I want. So, yeah, like I kind of like that. I like what it's doing to the skin. We're going to bring the opacity down so it can really just alter the shadows. And we're gonna just LUT it up. We're gonna add more LUTs on top of LUTs, just to see what it does to the skin, just to see the different looks that it can give your photo. Sometimes I just use one LUT. Sometimes I can use 4 or 5 of them. You play with the opacities on each LUT because you don't want it to, you want to make sure it's altering what you want it to alter, if that makes sense. So yeah, I really wanted to go with a contrast gold and bronze type look. So that's what I'm looking for. Yeah. Too much. Almost there. I like that a lot. Let's bring that opacity down. And now we're gonna do color balance sometimes because I don't want it to be too red or too cyan or too yellow or too blue. So we toggle those colors on and off. We're gonna do a curves just to make it pop. I use the curve just to snatch the image a little bit, and then I use the levels to just bring in those highlights, bring in those shadows, or maybe I should say bring out. I don't know, but yeah, you get the gist. So yeah, coloring is cool. That's where you get to, be unique, and you get to kind of put your own flavor on the images. And you kind of got to be careful with them too, because as a photographer, you might like the way something looks, but a model might not like it. They might want something simple. So I always do my coloring at the very end, because if a client say, hey, this is too dark, or hey, blah, 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 whatever they might say, you can just go in and either delete them or alter them, versus doing it in the beginning and having to actually restart the photo. So, like I said, I never keep anything on a 400%, so now I'm playing with the opacity. We're zooming in, and you guys just look at the skin. I really love how the skin looks. I really just like that. I don't even want to call it greasy, but it does kind of have a greasy look. But I love that look. I feel like it just makes the image look polished. I think it's a cool view, cool look, pure view. What am I trying to say? I just think it looks cool. Look at the skin. Let me know what you think. I probably could have played more with her eyebrows. I probably could have cleaned the hair up a lot more, but I wanted to just kind of go through and just show you guys something. Like I said, this is my first time doing this. YouTube, you guys got it first. I hope you guys enjoy. If you have any tips or anything, feel free to comment below. And just let me know what you think. If you guys want to see more editing things like this, make sure you like, subscribe, share, follow me on everything. And tag a friend. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.